Hello guys, so now that you've seen the flip through, I am starting to get into like a new format of my videos here. So that's why it's going to be quiet in some points, and then, I just changed it up a bit, and it's just easier to condense it down for TikTok videos and reels and stuff as well. But we're going to do a little deep dive, and it's only half a deep dive because it's just the majors. Because as you saw, this Critical Role Terra deck is a pip deck. I do not normally buy pip decks because I love the Rider-Waite and I love each of the cards can represent a character and having people in them, but like I've been a fan of Critical for years, not as long as 10 years, which is congrats guys on your 10-year anniversary this year. But as you saw, like this was a pip deck and it's beautifully done. I believe one of the members, Taliesin Jaffe, was working on it. Yeah, it was Taliesin Jaffe who worked alongside this, and it was also, the artwork is by James Fenner and Snow Conrad. The design is by Matt Padik and co. So that's them there, guys. This is a limited edition run. I have no idea if this is going to be a permanent thing on their shop. I just got it because I've been a fan of Critical Role for so long. Like, it got me through the pandemic more than you think. Like, just listening to their 5-hour sessions of the Mighty Nine Campaign 2 while you're at work is insane. It's like a podcast, but like in the middle of like helping customers. Anyway, so we're gonna get into this. So this is a beautiful deck. It's kind of like linen but glossy, and I've never seen that before, where you can see the lines of the linen. I don't know if you can, but there is linen like lines through it. And it's glossed, so it's like it doesn't have that weird stiff texture. This is all gilded in black, which I thought was beautiful. Like I wouldn't put it past Taliesin to not make it a goth as hell, like gothic and extra. It's like a metallic kind of black, but it's not like gilded. It's just edged. It's beautiful though, and we're gonna go into this now. So, I'll explain the character a little bit, just a little bit of lore, not too much that it's going to spoil anything, but yeah. So the Fool here is a character called Molly Mock. They are a purple tiefling. A tiefling is a being or race that are from hell, usually, and they have horns and a lovely long tail. Molly Mock is a fortune teller character that we meet in campaign 2, and I'm not surprised he's the Fool. If you know, you know. Like if you saw in the box here, it's a quote from the game, and it says Molly Mock Tea Leaf. That's his name. It's beautiful. If you know, you know. But Molly Mock being the Fool is beautiful. I'm just slowly putting them back in the box. The Magician is my favorite NPC. Okay, I'm not gonna. My friends know how I feel about this character. This is Essek Thalis. I love Essek Thalis, representing ace characters and people all the way. But oh god, he has such a good story arc that you don't see coming. Like if you watch the sessions, I believe the Mighty Nine is going to be animated in the upcoming future. But, oh my god, just Essek is my favourite, and I can't wait to see him animated in the series, like, at all, because it's our floating hot boy. If people know, they know. He is a dark elf, or as they call it in the D&D, a drow. He is a wizard, but he specialises in chromantic, which is time magic, and dunamancy. So that's what he... Makes sense. Like, he has all the tools. It just takes the power of friendship to unlock them. Seriously, it does. I laughed so hard when I saw Jester as the High Priestess. Jester with Artagan in the background. If you can see the Traveler, that's Artagan just there. I'll just fix the focus there. That is Artagan right there. Artagan is an archfey who, when Jester's growing up, is their imaginary friend for years, and he's actually just an archfey with a lot of magic powers and abilities. And Jester becomes the high priestess, this is the joke, of the Traveller, which is a minor religious kind of path you can use. So rather than following like the main gods and stuff in Exandria, you can also follow the Traveller, which is another one, which is a god of travellers and pranksters. It's lovely. But I just laughed so hard that it was Jester on the High Priestess card. That's brilliant. The Empress is Veth Bernato. Veth Bernato makes sense being the Empress. You're probably looking at this going, what? Why? This makes no sense. What's motherly about this? Empress is obviously about motherhood and being nurturing. Veth goes through a very big story arc in campaign 2, and she is a mother, and the gang find out that she has a son. She's a halfling, so in D&D sense or other fantasy sense, she's a hobbit, but halflings are halflings. She goes through a big change and a big life thing, but her goal is to be reunited with her son and husband, and so that makes sense why she has the nurturing, and she's played by Sam Riegel, so I love that so much. Like, she's a badass mom. Just gonna say, she's a badass mom. Emperor is none other than Scanlan Shorehold. If you watch Vox Machina on Amazon, you'll understand it. If you don't, you don't. Do check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. Vox Machina is the first campaign of Critical Role's long legacy, I guess, of their 10 years. So they started playing 10 years ago in 2015, and it just went from there, honestly. But Scanlan being the Emperor makes sense because there is a character he meets, and it just goes from there, and I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, so fatherhood, and also like it's also the joke on the fact that he says I'm the daddy a lot, so I'm like, there's a joke here somewhere. This one broke my heart when I saw who the Hierophant was. This is FCG. They are a automaton, which is an ancient form of robot from a pre-existing time period. And he was fixed and made into this lovely little creation that he is with the one wheel. And his name, he goes by FCG, which is fresh cut grass, because the creator who found his like remains or like body parts put them back together and named them after her favorite smells. I'm not going to get into the other smells that she named the others, because that's for you to find out and go Google it. If you know, you know. So FCG is a very sweet little robot, and they are so cute, and they have their Changebringer coin. Changebringer is another deity in the game, in the world of Exandria. I just love that this is the He's FCG is literally the therapist character, and I love FCG, and it breaks my heart just seeing him. D&D, anything can happen, so it's very sad and bittersweet seeing him. It's very sweet. The lovers, I actually am surprised these two are the lovers. I was expecting two other characters, but in other words, it makes sense. So this is Fern Calloway, and this is Ashton Greymore. And Ash is such a badass. Like, their story goes beyond. So these two end up being not chosen ones in a sense, but more like they are destined to receive certain fragments of the titans of the world. And yeah, it just goes from there, and it's beautiful. Their relationship grows. It's still very open, and they both like their freedom, and they both like being not tied down or committed completely. Like, they have respect for each other the way they left it, I guess, and it's just beautifully done. I love watching their relationship grow. But Fern, played by Ashley Johnson, Fern is by far the funniest character. I just went, what? Who is? I thought they were like a ditzy character, like, oh, they're ditzy, and then they do something and they it works out, and you go, how does that work? But it's beautiful. I love that for the lovers. The chariot is Vex'alia. Vex'alia is a half-elf ranger from campaign 1 and is part of Vox Machina. And there's Trinket. Oh, Trinket is the pet bear that they have, that she has. And Vex'alia does go through a very slow and steady change, hence why she's more ideal for the chariot. I love that. She's very ideal for the chariot. I'm just going to try to blast through these because I'm going to be here for hours if I don't. The strength card is Yasha. Yasha is Noraiden? I can never say her surname. Yasha is an Aasimar, which is a half... not a half angel, but they're more like a descendant of, like, say someone fell in love with an angel that came down, or celestial, and then the genes just kick in down the line, and Yasha has the wings, and she goes through a beautiful strength story. I'm going to say it. It's not just physical strength, given that she's a barbarian, but the sense of like a beautiful strength of how to move on from your past, and your past doesn't defy you. So it's beautiful. The hermit is Orym. I was not expecting Orym to be the hermit, but thinking on it, it does make sense. This is without looking at the book, by the way. I'm not looking at this little book. This is just from being a fan and all that lovely stuff. So Orym goes through a big change at some point. They all go through a big change. But the hermit is where you isolate yourself to deal with grief, or kind of back away and just go, I need some alone time. Orym kind of closes off his heart a lot, because he does mention why he's out exploring Exandria and finding answers for something that happened 6 years prior. His husband was unalived. I have to change that, unalived. And he closes off a lot from that, and it makes sense, like, why you'd be grieving from that, and anyone would be, rightly so. But yeah, it makes sense why he's the hermit. Grog Strongjaw is the Wheel of Fortune, with the card of the Deck of Many Things. That's what it's called, the Deck of Many Things. The Deck of Many Things is a item in D&D. Now when you draw it, a card, you say you got a card and it said, I don't know, there's like so many of them, but it would be like Guardian, and then suddenly a knight appears next to you and he goes, hello, I am your guardian, and like they'll protect you. So it's a magical item, and Grog just keeps playing with it. So him being the Wheel of Fortune is hilarious. Grog Strongjaw from Vox Machina. Justice. I love that. Beauregard Lioness is the Justice card. Beauregard Lioness is a human. Okay. She is the daughter of a vineyard like family, like that kind of thing, and she gets justice for something that happens to her in her past with her father. She's been unruly. I need to send her away, kind of thing. And there's a darker secret to why she was sent away. So the Justice card and her being part of the Cobalt Soul, beautifully done. Love it. Absolutely love that. Oh, the Hangman. Oh, the Hangman is this guy here. This is Vax'ildan. So this is Chariot's twin. So Vex'alia is the Chariot, and this is her brother, her twin brother, Vax'ildan. And this is the Matron of Raven's mask in the back. The threads of fate are around him. The beautiful black angel wings. So if you watch Vox Machina, the series, it will explain it in like a condensed version. But basically, Vax becomes the champion of the Raven Queen because he chose to take his sister's place. The whole point of him being the Hangman is brilliant, because in the series he gets a new perspective on life. Like, he goes from being a rogue with daggers and stabbing and stealing things to finding a very noble and like not religious kind of outlook, but he grows into becoming like a paladin almost. So yeah, he goes from like a rogue thief to being a Matron of Ravens. I love that he's the Hanged Man. Like, that's stunning. I actually want to get a Matron of Ravens tattoo so badly. I love her so much. Horrible, and I want to slap the mask off her for what she does to him. Like, come on. But, you know, it is what it is. Death is Laudna. Death. Change and transformation. Oh my god. I remember seeing Laudna the first time, and I agree with Marisha Ray, who plays Laudna. They're like, I made an undead person. Undead, they're a zombie. Like, she's an undead person who is a sorcerer and has the ability to do a lot of necromancy, which is beautiful. It's insane what she can do. But she does go through the biggest transformation of all the characters. This is in campaign 3 with Bell's Hells. So we're getting into some other ones here. Temperance is Caduceus Clay. Caduceus Clay is a Furbolg. Furbolg are a race that you can play, and they're more like in between a deer and a cow kind of situation. They're not like Fern Calvé, who's a fawn. They are very tall and they're fluffy, and they're kind of in between. That's what I said. They're in between a cow and a deer, but they have paws. It's interesting. Love Caduceus, and makes sense being Temperance because he makes dead people tea. He owns a graveyard, and he is a grave. Is it grave cleric? Yeah, that's a grave cleric. But Caduceus being Temperance is phenomenal. Like, he's the most well balanced. I say well balanced. He trips a lot at some points of the campaign. But yeah, Caduceus being Temperance is great. Oh, the devil is Percy. I'm not going to say his full name. Percy DeRollo. Does it actually say his full name in the book? I'm actually curious. No, it just says Percy DeRollo. Percival DeRollo. Love that. And this is Orthax. Orthax is the being behind him, telling him what to do and feeding his hate and vengeance. It's a demon spirit kind of thing that just eats on people's souls, in the sense of they want to fill your ambition towards this sin, or like, so Percy wanted revenge on what happened in his past, in his story, and Orthax just appears when he was very young, like about 14, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, Percy, very sad story. If you ever do watch Vox Machina on Amazon, just a trigger warning, there is a lot of trauma in his past. That's a nice way of putting it. Oh, speaking of trauma, God, this is Caleb Widowgast. Now, Caleb is a brilliant character played by Liam O'Brien, who also plays Vax, the Hanged Man card. The tower. I wanted to, like, you know that silent scream you do, and you're like, ah! But like, him being the tower is so heartbreaking and distraught. I'm like, are you just asking for this? So Caleb goes through, again, they all go through trauma. Everyone has trauma, by the looks of it. Every character does here. So the tower is representing what Caleb did while he was manipulated by a teacher that he looked up to, and was manipulated into thinking there were traitors to the Empire in the house, and he didn't realize the house was his family home. Enough said. And that makes sense why he's traumatized. Not going to get too much into that. Watch the series. Watch the campaign. The star. I'm surprised 4th Stone is the star card. Because I'm trying to wrap my head around how, like, letting the universe do its thing, but you're putting the work in, comes into him. Because there's 2 ways that can play out. You either give in to the evil that's been manipulated, like, trying to pull you in, or you go down the path of good and listen to friends and such. It's an interesting... It's an interesting one. I can't wrap my head around why he's the star card. Let me just see what it says here. Represents calm after the great storm. It represents renewed hope and faith and in life, being open-minded to the wonders of our world, finding joy and trusting in the promise of good things to come. Fair enough. It's more along the lines of he doesn't give in to the evil deity that is Uk'otoa, that is been stuck with him since he woke up on shore one day, and he goes down a path of like there are better things out there, you know. And it's his Ford Stone, brilliant. Love. The moon is Imogen Timmelt. Imogen Timmelt is a recent human sorcerer character played by Laura Bailey, who also plays Vax'ildan and Jester, the High Priestess. I was very taken aback by Imogen's story. I love all the characters. Obviously, you have your favourites. Makes sense. And you root for more than more of the other at some points. But you're also like, oh, that's your comeuppance. Imogen's story is like, she was a chosen one that didn't want to be chosen. That's the best way of putting it. And it's to do with the red moon. So Exandria has 2 moons. There's a red one called Ruidus, and there's a big white moon called Katha. And in campaign 3, it's a lot to do with what's been sealed inside the red moon. That's it. And she is being called by the red moon to do something. And yeah, I have finished the series. I'm just not giving any spoilers as best I can. Or like stuff that's been like out there for so long. Like campaign 1 is now animated, so there's stuff out there that will explain it. Campaign 2 has been like made into compilations over the 2 years, so yeah. But the moon makes sense. Like it's about lies and deceit and what is true, and she finds out a lot. Like she goes into this adventure thinking, oh, this thing happened, I need to solve why this person is this way. And then she goes in and just at the end it's totally turned on its head, like what she was originally supposed to do. Amazing. The sun is a gnome character called Pike Trickfoot. Pike Trickfoot is a Everlight. She's the cleric of the Everlight. Oh my god, it's like I'm being quizzed. But yeah, rolled a natural 1 there for like a brain fart. Pike Trickfoot is a cleric of the Everlight, and she is in campaign 1, and she is played by Ashley Johnson. I love that she's the sun card because she goes on this journey of rekindling the Everlight for herself. Like, why does she believe in it? Why are you here? Rather than going, oh, I needed to save my friends, I needed to kick ass. And the Everlight's like, no, I'm not about that. Relearn this for yourself, please. And she goes on a very good cleansing journey in a sense. Judgment is Chetney Pockopy. Wow. Now, Chetney is a gnome that turns into a werewolf. Hence the fluff hair and all that stuff. They are a toy maker. And I believe gnomes in D&D can live to like 400. But he's played by Travis Willingham. Travis would roll like a percentile dice or 2 d10s, I think. Like just do this and go, and like 38. No, he didn't die. And then go like this, 13. Or is it 2 10s or is it a percentile dice? I can't remember. But like he would do this and go 34. Like nope, 56. That kind of thing, until he got double zeros, and if you got double zeros, the character would just die of old age. Never hits it. Never hits it. And I'm there going, there was one point where he rolled it and he goes, oh! Because it was like a 1. But yeah, Chetney being Judgment makes sense because he's going through a journey of dealing with being judged as an angry old man, being a grump, or being judged for having the gift of the werewolf. So it's a very good Judgment story actually. The world is Keyleth. Oh, Keyleth. I think everyone knows when you hear Keyleth, you go, oh, Keyleth. The poor girl, she's a half-elf and she is an Ashari. An Ashari is a tribe of druids, and they, oh my god, are more of a wind tribe. So in Exandria, the way Matthew Mercer, who runs the D&D games as DM, the Ashari is a tribe of druids, and there's different ones like for the elements. So Keyleth is from the air Ashari, and then there's fire, water, and earth. And she is the air, basically. I know, the heir of the air Ashari, ironic. To be the leader and to become the Tempest, which is the one who masters all 4 elements. Not the Avatar, to some degree. Not the Avatar. But, yeah. And she's so sweet. And she's played by Marisha Ray. And her being the world with all the 4 seasons and the 4 elements is beautiful. Oh my god. So now we're on to the court cards. I need to go through this, because the court cards were quite interesting. Okay. So we have the Page of Wands, which is Keely. I think it's Keely. That's her name. She is a gnome. Let me get the Page of Wands. Kaylee Shoreholt. So this is a big spoiler, obviously. But now you know why Scanlan Shoreholt was the Emperor, because the Page of Wands is his daughter. I like that the Page of Wands here, she has her flute as the wand, because she's a bard as well. Her being the page is beautiful, because reverse, it means grudges and self-doubt and not being sure of yourself. And I love this for Kaylee, and it's beautiful. Knight of Wands is Lady Kima. Lady Kima is a NPC that's part of the Council of Taldore. Part of it. There's an inside joke at the Council of Taldore. Very good. But yeah, she's a badass dwarf lady, and I love her so much as well when she's on screen. The Queen of Wands is Plane Rider Rin. Plane Rider Rin is a tiefling, and plane riders are very rare. They're the ones who can jump through. So in D&D, there's different realms or planes. So we're on the material plane, which is the planet itself, and then adjacent to those are the Feywilds, which is the Fey realm, and then the other is the Shadow realm. It's like the dark version of the Feywild, and then there's the fire plane, elemental plane, water, earth, and air. I don't know if there is an airplane, but an aeroplane? Oh, for God's sake. But yeah, Plane Rider Rin is a cool character. She was badass. These two are the King of Wands. I don't know why there's 2 characters on this. I was expecting Ira. That's Ira. This is Ira, and Ira is another archfey, but more on the dark side and kind of creepy. And Ira Windagoth. This is Ira Windagoth, and this is Morrigan. Like the Morrigan, yeah. She's the Fate Stitcher, and this is interesting. I'm just wondering, like, they lean to, at times Moria and Ira lean towards selfishness. So her name is Nana Mori. That's because there's a reason why she's called Nana Mori. Oh. Both greatly enjoy their own personal projects and find great interest in learning and creating. Oh, my baby boy. This is my beautiful baby boy. We all love Dorian. Dorian Storm! Dorian Storm is the heir to the Silken Swall, which is a floating city run by Air Genasi. Genasis are elemental beings, so they're a race you can be, and they have like fire, earth, water, and air, and is obviously an Air Genasi. So he's a bard. He's so sweet. Oh, he goes through such a heartbreaking story. They all go through such a heartbreaking story, but Dorian is my baby boy. Hi, Robbie. Robbie Damon. Hi. The Knight of Cups is known as the Gentleman, and the Gentleman is like a seedy kind of crime lord in Wildmount, and he's a water genasi, ironically. Beautiful character. I'm not going to get too much into that because I don't want to spoil anything on that one. Queen of Cups is the Ruby of the Sea. This is the Queen of Cups, Marion, and she is, I love that she's the Queen of Cups. It makes sense for her. And if you know, you know, but this is Jester's mother, the one from the High Priestess. This is Jester's mother. King of Cups is Lord Esteros. Lord Esteros is a orc, I believe. Yeah, he's an orc. And he is a very high established military man in Jusar. And yeah, he's just a sweet old man, and he's the first patron of Bell's House, which is another group, like Vox Machina, the party group. Page of Swords. Oh, I love that it's Astrid and Wolf. Love it. These two are students who were with Caleb on the day of the tower, like that incident that happens in the tower. These two are with him, and they, unfortunately, when Caleb goes through a mental break, these two were continued on in their training, and the training is more torture than training. That's all I'm going to say. And if you watch it, it's utterly insane. The Knight of Swords is Yusa. What's their surname? Yusa Aranus. So Yusa is actually one of the very few openly trans characters in the thing that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong, critters, because I don't want to step on anyone's toes. But Yusa is a phenomenal trans representation, and they are a phenomenal wizard. They are an elf. I believe they're like 200 and something years old. And yeah, the Happy Fun Ball. Yusa and that damn Happy Fun Ball. The fact that it's shown in this, if you know, you know. But the Happy Fun Ball. My God, Yusa, brilliant. I love that they're the Knight of Swords though, because they may be meticulously a wizard and knowledgeable and stuff, but the fact that they jump in and don't think, like, do you remember the last time you went inside the Happy Fun Ball? Because it's a little, like, realm in the ball. It's like a wizard tower in the ball. The fact that he goes in and he gets stuck, and I'm like, do you not learn from the last one? Like, think. Yeah. So, yeah, that's Yusa. I love Yusa. Queen of Swords is the queen, the Bright Queen. Oh, the Bright Queen is a dark elf, or drow, and she is the leader of, oh my God, Jorhas? I nearly said, that's the continent though, isn't it? Jorhas, which is in Wildmount. Oh my God, I feel like I'm being quizzed on my Exandria geography right now. I can't remember the name of the city. It's annoying me. And it's made of these beautiful crystals, and it's insane. It's made into eternal night because the wizards that are there have made this bubble around the city because drow can't see in the light that well. So they made it eternal night. And like, the more north they are, this is literally Iceland what they're doing. Like, it's just Iceland. I love it. It's great. But yeah, I love that she has the dodecahedron. That's the shape, but it's actually the Luxon. I want to see so much more on that Luxon because of what's happened in Campaign 3 recently. The Luxon is like, it's a deity, but it's not part of the gods family. It's like an entity that came from somewhere else. The Bright Queen here is actually 2,000 years old because what the Luxon does is reincarnation. So like, she has the most perfect soul. It's been through the thing a few times. And it comes out, and her soul will be put into a baby, like that is being born. And yeah, she'll come out, and eventually at a certain age, I think it's 16 or 18, I'm not sure given the comic that I have, the graphic novel on this, they get the memories of their past life and remember who they were and stuff like that. But there are some things I want to ask, like, given like what happens in the series, yeah. But the Bright Queen, one of my favorite NPCs. This is the King of Swords. This is, I can never remember their name. It's a non-binary character. Jamon Saord. Jamon Saord is a dragon that has taken the form of a human, because dragons can do that in D&D. So anyone can be turned into a human or their mortal form. This character is very high up there, and they represent non-binary people very well. when you do see them in the series, they're very androgynous and they're very slender and tall. Like, it's, oh, the design of this character. Love them. Love them. Pages coins. It's Dodie. I think it's Dodie, and this is Tyrion Darrington. I can't remember what class Tyrion is, but oh my god, just beautiful storyteller. And the fact that they go around looking for like notes to write and go, and I think later on in like when they do a time jump in one of the campaigns, like it's been 10 years later, they find a book that says The Adventures of Tyrion Darrington, and I'm like, my guy, what the hell? Brilliant. The Knight of Coins is Cassandra de Rollo. This is Percival's little sister, who is one of the there are only 2 remaining survivors of the de Rollo. The Queen of Coins. It's the fact that it's Gilmore being the Queen of Coins. Can you be any more LGBTQ representation right here? Gilmore is the proprietor of Gilmore's Glorious Goods. They are a magic user, and they own the shop with all the magical items and stuff. And they have a little romantic rendezvous with Vax'ildan. And we have the Queen of Coins right there. The King of Coins. The fact that these two have swapped... Let me get that back. The fact that the Queen and the King have swapped genders here, brilliant. Love it. The fact that they've done that is phenomenal. This is representing a lot of masculinity in women, or like the feminine and the masculine. We all have that. Doesn't matter what your gender is. Love it. Phenomenal. This is Lady Laura Vax'ildan, and this is Matthew Mercer's NPC that they use to, when they need to help the party or something, they can just jump in and be this powerful NPC, and they just go, oh yes, I am here, I'm Lady Laura Vax'ildan. And Laura is married to Lady Kima, from what we saw with the Knight of Swords, I believe. Page of Wands. Wow, oh yeah, Knight of Wands, no, we're right. There you go. So these two are married in the series. Love that. The inclusivity of Critical Role and the fact that they aspire so many people, and they also don't just use like famous artists, they use critters, which is the fans of Critical Role. They use the fans and hire them as artists and do the art or anything like that. It's such a great community. But yeah, so let's do a quick reading with them. I just looked at the previous clip. I went on for 44 minutes before editing. Like, that's crazy. Right, let's get into this and start doing some shuffling and see what we get. It's a lovely deck, cardstock wise. Does it say the cardstock on this? No, it doesn't. I think it says on their website, and I'll leave that below. If it's gone, it's gone. Sorry. It's a limited deck, so. But they do have an Oracle deck on there, and yeah, that's the Mollymock Moon Oracle, I believe. I believe it's to match with this, so to pair off with them. Right, let's see what we get. Oh, we got the Hanged Man. Oh, yes, I love it. Love it, love it. I'm not a fan. I swear to God. You can tell I'm not a fan, can't you? We'll do one card and we'll see what it says. So we got the Hanged Man. Brilliant. Oh! That was a call noise. Oh! Let's see what the card says here. And we got Vax'ildan, and it's the Hanged Man. And we're going to read this here. Upright means self-sacrifice, shift in perspective and letting go. The Hanged Man represents self-sacrifice, surrendering by choice and taking in a new perspective, or letting go of an old one. Vax'ildan willingly surrenders himself to a higher power. He has chosen the difficulties and hardships that have come his way, and he is stronger for them. Vax gives up his body and soul to save his sister's life, tying himself up in the threads of faith controlled by the Matron of Ravens, becoming her puppet. However, in death, he is elevated to a higher being of divine knowledge and power. So in the sense of the character, he becomes like the Grim Reaper, essentially. Which is, the champion of Ravens becomes the becomes the Grim Reaper. It's mad. But yeah, today maybe see, when you're reading this will be a little timeless one. Look at the perspective of other things. Like, don't just hear one side of the story, hear the other, and see where they're coming from. Like, and if you need a new perspective, maybe you do need to hear the other side. Yeah, so I'm gonna just do this for fun. I'm gonna roll a d20, see what I get. What did I get? I got a 6. Don't know what that means, but we got a 6. So the 6th, maybe June. Something's happening in June. So we'll see. What does that mean? June. There is a way to do divination with D&D dice, and I have to look it up, but I want to learn that. So I will leave that there, guys, and that is the Critical Role tarot deck. I will leave that there, and I will see you all very soon.